Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Digital Nomad World weekly series. I'm Becky, and I'll be your host. And today we're going to hear about the unbelievable way that my guest, Matan Hirsch, became a digital nomad. You always wonder how you're going to get on the road and find that remote job. Well, I can guarantee you, Matan did not see his digital nomad journey coming, but it all happened for him, and he's now working from his laptop around the world. Matan, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining us. Yeah, I'm so
thanks.
excited to hear this story of yours that you first shared with me on the Nomad Cruise, which is where we met. So, Matan, let's take it back first. Can you tell us a bit about your background and how you got started? What were you doing before you became a digital nomad?
Okay, so up until COVID, I was working with tourists. I was working with the tourist groups that came from all around the world to Israel. I was like field coordinator, making sure everything will go fine. Um, Taking care of groups that came to Israel for 5 years, until 2020, until COVID. When that happened, no more tourists came. So what I did was I started to look for an online career. I learned I learned how to do digital marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, um, social media, everything, and I learned drop shipping. I learned affiliate marketing. I was trying to find my way to become a digital nomad, how to sell photos online as well. I tried so many things. Um, I did make a few dollars here and there, but from the I switched my career to digital marketing, and then I had a one client, and I could work with her, but it wasn't enough to travel around and become a nomad. So during COVID, I went to Bansko. For the first time, I stayed there. I tried to make money online with more than one client. It didn't go too much, but I was mostly traveling. I was like more digital unemployed than digital nomad. I was sorry, I was a bit more like just unemployed nomad than digital nomad. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say. Um, and then it was 2021, a Bansko Nomad Fest. Okay, do we tell the story now, or you want to
Yeah.
ask more questions? Okay.
Well, I do like that you basically, tried all of the classic digital nomad jobs that people try when they're first starting out, drop shipping being one of them, affiliate marketing being another. And some people do find luck with that early on, but I think like we're talking about you were an employed nomad more than a digital nomad, but sometimes too you can be underemployed at the beginning, right? You're making a bit of money, but it's not enough
Yeah.
to fully go wherever you want. So then what
Mm.
happened? So you
Yeah,
went to
exactly.
Bansko. Also, Bansko, I want to mention we have a destination guide. We have an episode all about Bansko. If people are curious, it is a great place to start if you're trying to figure out how to make everything work and be able to go anywhere as a digital nomad.
Exactly. It's a great place for a start. Yeah. Great place for beginners and great nomad community there. We both really recommend it, right? You've been to Bansko. I've been there a few times.
Yeah, I've been like
Nice.
5 times. I really enjoy going. I love the community
I've
there.
been like eight.
All right. So, guys, come and join us in Bansko. So,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah,
there
Bansko.
and you go to the Bansko Nomad Fest. And then what
Okay.
happens?
Okay, so it was Nomad Fest, July 2021. I was a volunteer photographer, and I had like, as a photographer, I was like joining all the events with all my gear, my camera, my lenses, my laptop, like every day, all day it was with me outside. And then on one of the events, it was in the park. Okay, and it's Bansko. It's usually very relaxed and quiet, and like you just trust everyone and you think nothing can happen. So in the park in one of the nights we had like a party there, karaoke night. We all left our bags in different places. Like it was not far from me, but um, it was there as far as I remember. And then the end of the party, it was 1:30 a.m. I was looking for my bag. Was looking for half an hour in the dark, 1 hour. I couldn't find it. Asked some people. They helped me look for it, but no bag. And I didn't have the key to my place as well. So yeah, that's another story. But I found I could stay at the basement of we had like a common area in the co-living, so I could stay there on the couch for the night. But anyway, the bag didn't show up. In the morning, I found out that more things were missing. So probably I believe it's not someone from the Nomad Fest, of course, but it was an open area. And I had no bag, no laptop, no camera, no lenses, no hard drive with thousands of photos that weren't backup. And yeah, it was a very bad feeling. It's, I think, the Nomad's worst nightmare. Um, but I woke up in the morning, got my key back from the place. He said, okay, I wouldn't let it bring me down. We went to the police. We tried to find something, but it didn't help. I continued joining the events of the Nomad Fest. Um, and yeah, it didn't. The things never showed up. Okay, so then what happened? Sorry. Um, so I wrote my friend from Bansko. She wrote a post on Facebook about Matan- about my dream to become a travel photographer, to travel the world, take pictures, to find a way to make money as a nomad photographer. And she posted like a nice post in the event group. And if people want to help me get um, to get back on my feet and um, to get back on my feet and help me with some money, like a crowdfunding. So I thought, okay, maybe we'll get like 100, 200 euro. It will be nice, but camera and photography gear, um, photography gear and laptop would cost much more than that. But then in 3 days, we raised more than 1,700 euros. It really helped me get back on my feet. I bought new gear when I went back. And then the funny thing that I wrote the story in the Israeli Digital Nomad group, in the Digital Nomad Israel group on Facebook to tell my story, the power of community and the nomad community around the world. And then what happened was the CEO of the travel insurance agency I was in charge with, they do insurance for no digital nomads abroad. So he saw my post. He helped me with to get like a bit more compensation from the insurance. He invited me for lunch when I get back to Israel, and we went for lunch, and he offered me a job in a travel insurance agency. So
Wow.
I only had one condition that once I learned the job properly from the office, he will let me do it remote. And he said, okay, we'll see how long it takes. A few months, 1 year, 2 years, I don't know, but he said okay. And what happened next? It took me like around 1 year, and then they raised my rent where I was living in Tel Aviv. I said, okay, maybe it's a sign. I left the apartment. I told him, okay, I don't have anywhere to live. Maybe it's a good sign. I need to start traveling. And my first destination was a trial in Japan, 3 weeks, where actually I'm now here in Japan as well. And then it went great. I was working a lot during the working hours. I did a good job, and and I became a full-time nomad. It was exactly on my birthday 2 years ago in November, and now we are in almost in November again. And so 2 years I'm in Japan. Since then, I've been traveling through Europe, back to Bansko, Hungary, Georgia, Iceland, South America, Argentina, Brazil, Chile. I took two nomad cruises. I was working from the middle of the ocean. I was working from US and Canada, from Sri Lanka, now in Japan again. Then for the last 2 years, I traveled to more than 20 countries. Yeah, I'm full-time nomad thanks to Bansko Nomad Fest in a different way, but yeah, thank you. That's
I
my story.
love I love this story. When you first shared it with me, it was so unbelievable. First of all, you didn't seem to know how you were going to find that job that really set you free geographically, but to have it come through so much like agony and uncertainty and how it turned around. I'm so happy for you and how much you've traveled since. It's like you really showed what's possible once you were set free and were able to work from anywhere.
What I always said, everything happens for a reason. You don't know even the bad things. When it happened, I thought there is a reason it happened. I still don't know why it happened, but I'm here in a happy place with the mountains, with the mountain view, with good people. So something I didn't know something good would happen, but I thought there's a reason why it happened, and one thing led to another. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. And I think it's like, the power of positivity too, like you're saying, reaching out to people, sharing your story, and people helped you share that story even wider. And I'm curious what you do now with the travel insurance company. Are you in the sales department? What did they end up having you do that you can now do from anywhere?
Yeah. So I help other nomads do insurance. We work with different companies. I help them both with the insurance and some travel ideas as well. And yeah, usually with new sales or claims or whatever they need. But yeah, I'm already there for 3 years already, 3 years and a few months, and 2 years nomad. And the bad thing is I do my job. I'm happy. My boss is happy, I hope, and we're all good.
Yeah, and you work hard too. Are you on a
Hmm.
set hours at a
Yeah,
certain time of the day? And how many hours do you work and where
yeah.
is the location where the hours are set?
It's 9 hours, almost 9 hours a day
Right?
by Israel time. So if Israel it's 8:30 until 5 or 5:30, here in Japan it's 3:30 p.m. until 12 a.m. Or in Argentina it was 3:30 a.m. until 12 p.m. Or in Iceland it was 5:30 a.m. So or on the cruise it was more complex where I had to change the hour every day and find out what time I need to work every day. So um, yeah, very yeah, part of the experience as a nomad.
Yeah, I wanted you to highlight that too because I know you work hard, but this is how a lot of people as digital nomads work. I think sometimes people don't even think we're working when we're crossing the Pacific or, sharing all of our travel photos. But it does require a lot of discipline, especially if you are someone who is working on set hours. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, how do you feel about working those set hours? Do you ever think about going back to the office and not having to work in the middle of the night, or is it all worth it, Matan?
Of course, it's all worth it. The last thing I will do is last thing I will do is go back to the office.
I thought you might say
Uh,
that.
yeah, no, I prefer working like actually I found the South America hours not that bad because I could
Hmm.
enjoy all my day, all my evening. And then only need to give up a few hours of sleep, but I could do so much more like during the day.
Yeah. So you've painted, I think, a really, general and common picture of what it can be like. And it's not, some people do get to have more flexibility, but that brings me to my next question is, I know you're now also doing things on the side. So can you share some of your side businesses with us that you've started since you have become a digital nomad?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I'm doing a few more things. I'm a photographer. I sell my photos on stock photography websites. I sell other kinds of photos on print-on-demand website. I have my travel Instagram page that if you want you can share later. Uh, and I also give lectures about travel tips, travel ideas, and how to find cheap flights. I do it all on Zoom. So I have like they have a lot of other new ideas that I want to do, and eventually, you know, I'm working on things to make them happen.
Yeah, you shared with me, for example, you're selling pictures of signs, for example,
Yeah.
or travel signs. And I think, just want to highlight your creativity because there's so much we can do to make some side money as digital nomads.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like you can, if you're a photographer, you can sell photos, print on demand website, make a brand from it. I sell photos of street signs that I take from around the world. And I sell my travel photos on also on stock photography. You can give lectures in something you're good at. You can you can be a coach. If you know like to help people, you can do digital marketing, build websites, find an online job in online companies. I think the world is more open than it was ever before since COVID. Um, so yeah, I think there's so many options. Just need to find the perf each person will find his way to do it, right? Like now we were on the cruise, we met so many people with different jobs.
Yeah, and we all come with our own unique skills from our previous work life. I'm curious, I don't, you don't have to share how much you're making exactly, but all of your side hustles right now, would they make enough money to sustain you without having your full-time job?
And no, not yet.
Okay.
No, full-time
So
job takes a
would
lot of
you,
hours. Yeah, sorry.
oh yeah, no problem. Would you advise people to try to get that full-time job or to make sure they have like a main job that is their reliable money before they start doing the other side hustles? How would you recommend
Hmm.
doing it as a digital nomad?
Again, each person will find their way to do it. Some people can live on less money in side hustles, and they can find more more income like that than find they find it easier than finding an online job. For me, it was again more one thing led to another than finding the job properly. But every nomad, I was struggling that too. Like even before COVID, like I was looking for the way to make online money, and I remember sitting hours and hours on YouTube trying to find a way to do it. So each person will find the perfect way, like the way that suits them, how to do it properly, and just do something that you like, and it will grow eventually.
Yeah, now you've mentioned Bansko Nomad Fest. We've talked about Nomad Cruise. You never expected going to Bansko Nomad Fest would lead to the job that you have now, full time. But would you recommend people go to these conferences, even if, the price tag might seem a little high for some of them? You think they're worth it?
Yeah, yeah, depends where. I don't know all the conferences. I've been only to three different ones. Like the Bansko Nomad Fest, the Nomad Cruise, and now here in Japan, I went to call it Fukuoka, where I'm now. It can give you a lot of new ideas. It can give you, you know, ideas to create creative, more to become more creative with what you do and think out of the box. And it's always good to meet like-minded people that want to do the same. Like when I'm in Israel, I almost never meet nomads. Like I have my family, my friends living their daily lives, and when I get out and I meet like people, like-minded people, it's always helped to become more, you know, you you eventually um you eventually want to be in an environment of people like-minded people that it will help you grow and bec and become better in what you do, I think.
Yeah, no, it's really powerful, like you said, to be surrounded by people that think the same way. Because I've met people in my
Hmm.
hometown, they want to become digital nomads, but they don't, they just somehow they don't think it's possible. And I think part of that comes from just not being around people already doing it, enough people, and really taking the steps to try to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, it's like I love my friends and my family there, and and I stay there for a few months a year. But when I travel, I'm more inspired by the people that surround me. So the people that surround me, and I think if your friends and that are there in where you are now, if they want and they will hear this interview, just need to be more open-minded. And now with AI, there's so many new options you can do. So just don't give up and find your way.
Yeah, and keep testing, trying different things.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I would now like to ask you a couple of our lightning round questions, which we ask to a lot of our guests. Are you ready, Matan?
Okay. We'll hope for the best. Yeah. I'll try to give
Okay.
good answers.
Okay. What's one thing that you wish you knew about being a nomad before starting your journey?
I will need to work so many hours in crazy hours.
It,
Um, yeah.
it is hard,
Uh,
but like you said, it's
yeah,
worth
but
it.
yeah, it's worth it, and you meet so many great people. And what's one thing that, yeah, so that's a the thing that I would, that's a thing that I would say. But I don't know. I think I knew it, but I didn't knew how hard it is to do it. To give up so many events and parties and meetings and dinners because now I need to work during evening time. So it's like a bit of no, you need to give up on things to do what you do. But again, if I can be here and not in the office, so it's worth it.
Yeah, you really have to keep that FOMO in check. I've heard from digital nomads that that can really be a problem sometimes. So just know that going in. Like this could
Yeah,
affect you, but you've got to find the good things you can do in your free time there.
yeah, exactly. Like travel here, I travel during the day, work in the evening, um, and then in other places in Europe, I work during the daytime, and then I go out in the evening. So just I play with the time zones. It's very very funny. Like it's part of the game.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, what is one thing you could not live without while traveling?
My camera.
Yes,
Like
I could see that.
one one time, I have bad luck with cameras. Like I was in South America uh, when I just started traveling for Nomad. Like I was a backpacker. Someone entered my room, stole my camera, and I thought it's another funny story. I hope we have time. I thought my credit card was stolen because it wasn't in my wallet there, so I I canceled it, and then uh, later that night I found it because I hid it too well in my backpack, and I couldn't renew it. So I was like with no credit card, no money. Parents sent me money on Western Union, and one of the first things I went to buy was a new camera. I didn't have the phone. It was 2011. I didn't have like a phone camera, and so I couldn't travel without the camera. For me, it's the most important.
So, can I ask you about this?
Hmm.
Do you do you think, I think you would think it was still worth traveling with an actual camera, but do you think for safety or security, are the smartphones really starting to catch up with what cameras can do, or will you always be traveling with your physical camera as well?
So far, yeah, I love my my Nikon camera. I love my DSLR camera, and I think in many things it gives better quality, but there's so good phones sometimes. I sell some of the photos that I take. I sell on my phone. I sell them online as well. Um, okay, that's a secret, but so many pictures that I sell, the street signs. A lot of them I also sell from my phone. So yeah, they take good photos. But if you want to take like good, I don't know, event photography or very high quality photos, and sometimes, and then you want to print them in big size, then you might need a good camera. But phones are doing some iPhones, or I have Galaxy S23, which is really good. It gives me very good results. So it's catching up. Okay. Yeah, I think it's for the in short answer.
Yeah, I mean, I would pay you a premium just because you're carrying your camera around for me, because so many of us now just want to have our smartphones. It's enough. We don't want to bother with like protecting the cameras as we travel from country to country. But if you've got this really nice camera, I will pay you a premium if I have an event. So that's something like camera enthusiasts can think about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
My next question for you, Matan, is what's your favorite travel book that inspired you?
I think you can guess the answer. Most nomads will say that because,
4 Hour Work Week by Tim
yeah,
Ferriss?
how did you know? And we didn't talk about it before.
No,
Yeah,
the Nomad Bible, as I also call it. So not surprised,
yeah,
Matan.
yeah. It's the Nomad Bible. I really liked it. I read it twice or three times. Um, I also read a nice travel book by an Israeli travel blogger as well that he wrote. And it also like inspired me a bit. Um, and actually, I'm thinking to write my own book one day, so
Yeah,
just
you
need to find
should.
the time. Yeah, it
Definitely
will.
should.
We already have a name and like ideas, but so yeah, probably the 4 Hour Work Week. I
Do
think
you
it's very recommended. Yeah.
do you remember any part of that book that really impacted you the most? I don't know if
Hmm.
you read it more than once, so I was curious.
There's the part he's saying, work earn in dollars, spend in um spend in I think in pesos, and pay someone like in another country in like lower currency. Don't remember where. So like if you hire someone that can that for them will be um like good salary for them, for you can afford it, and you live in a more affordable country, and you are earning for like American company or like a European or Israeli company. So you earn more, you spend in somewhere in the average, and then when you can get a virtual assistant that you pay in different currency. So you play with the currencies, and I remember that part. I also remember like once you become a digital nomad, what do you do? So like okay, now you're free of your work, of your like I mean, once you become a nomad, you have more freedom to travel to different places, do new things, get new hobbies. I think he said he became a tango champion or something. So yeah, it will once you free up your working your location once you are a location independent, and then i- one day also how do you call it? Like you don't need to worry about a full-time job, or you
Yeah.
you free up your schedule for you work less hours a week. Okay, I wouldn't say four, but if I can work 10 hours a week, it would be great. And then you
Hmm.
have more time to do your new hobbies, meet new people, do your things that you love, and that's what I will remember from this book as well.
Yeah, really powerful ideas like geo arbitrage, outsourcing your work for at a lower,
Outsourcing, that's the word. Yeah, I was looking for.
yeah, at a a more affordable currency, because you're earning in dollars. What really struck me about that book was at the very beginning when he talked about people who have location freedom are wealthier time-wise than even Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, people that have to be so many places for meetings and functions and all of these things. If you can have location freedom, you have more benefits
Hmm.
with your time and more freedom than they do. And I thought, wow, that's a powerful idea. So I never forgot that from the 4-hour work
Yeah,
week.
exactly. See, the picture I took is from the Nomad cruise, actually.
The one
The
behind
picture
you,
in the
yes.
background. So yeah, if I can be location independent, I feel wealthy enough and take photos of sunsets every day.
And we will thank Elon Musk for Starlink that we had on the Nomad cruise, which allowed you unbelievably to work for 9 hours at a time at different time zones
Yeah,
every night without any interruption. I was impressed by the connection we
it
had.
was 95% without interruptions, but yeah,
There's a
I
little bit,
I
okay.
really appreciate that. That's great, and that's also life-changing thing that to work from the middle of the ocean and do phone calls and Zoom meetings, and I think many people thanks Elon Musk for that.
Yeah, Starlink is really allowing us to have better internet in so many places we would never be able to work from before. So, yeah,
Yeah,
shout out
exactly.
to Elon Musk for that. And, there is more and more Starlink available for remote places as well. So, yeah. Well, Matan, I want to thank you so much for sharing your incredible story of how you
Mm.
unexpectedly got the digital nomad job that you always were dreaming of. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today, including where people can follow you before we go?
Yeah, sure. So I would love if people like the story and like to see more travel photos and ideas, they can follow me on Instagram. I call myself the Traveling Israeli with double L is traveling. Sorry, the Traveling Israeli. Okay. Um, or on Facebook, Matan Hirsch, but probably on Instagram. Um, yeah, what else can I share? Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the story. Thank you for inviting me. Um, yeah, it was great seeing you, meeting you on the cruise as well.
Thank you, Matan.
Um, yeah,
I think we're a good example of all the different people you can meet when you start traveling out there. And even if you're working crazy hours on a boat, you still have time to meet people with really different backgrounds and, network as well. And you never know where your next work might come from either when you meet other digital nomads.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can meet so many people.
Yeah. Thank you, Matan. I hope you
Okay,
have
thank you.
a great day and enjoy the rest of your time in Japan.
You mean a great night. It's 1 a.m. now.
That's
Yeah, sorry.
true. Enjoy.
I'm
All
joking. I'm
right.
joking. Thanks for the, yeah, that's why the lighting is so good. Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you.
inviting me.
You're welcome.